What's up, guys? Welcome to YuGiBOOM, and today I'm bringing True King Yang Zings. Alright guys, so Yang Zing's a deck, like most of my decks, where I refuse to give up on them. I'm always taking suggestions from friends. People always tell me about ideas they've seen online that are working out for people, and I've tried so many builds, and this deck just continues to get hit in all its ways, like from other decks using cards good. I mean, we've had Danglong get hit because of something else. Astrograph, Sorcerer, Electromite, so many cards that help this deck get hit because of other decks, but I still try to find a way to make it work. So I went back to True King Yang Zings, which was something I played a long time ago, and my deck's not too spicy. It's a 50 card deck, but I've worked out a little something lately that's worked out for me so far, so let's get right into it. Alright, for our monsters, it's pretty simple for my True King lineup. 3, Agnimazud, the Vanisher. He's your fire one. If you pop 2 fire, you're going to banish a monster on the field. 3, Barastos, or Baratos, or I forget how you say it, but he's going to be the water one. If you pop 2 waters to get his effect, he banishes 2 spell and traps, I believe. And then I'm running 2 of the Draco's Phoenix. So I've never really liked this card at 3, even at full power True Kings when Lithosagem wasn't banned. Another card I forgot to mention. He's essentially pretty much any other worm you need in your hand if you can pop him opening first turn in your hand with something, i.e. like your diagram. And he's pretty much extra copies of whatever worm you need at the time, most likely like your Jiaotu and such. Moving on. For our Yang Zings, we are going to run 3 Jiaotu. He's still one of the best Yang Zings you got. He allows you to pitch 2 Yang Zing cards, not just monsters from your hand, while you control no other monsters, to summon 2 from the deck, 1 with 0 attack, 1 with 0 defense. Pretty much setting up your True Kings to at least have 1 target, so they could at least still summon themselves. And the nice part about popping your True Kings with the Yang Zings, as long as you have the 1 attribute necessary, is your Yang Zings will still get their summon effects. So even though you won't get the True King's cool effect. For the next 3 we have Swanee, Fire of the Yang Zing. He's your strongest normal summonable Yang Zing, plus he's mandatory at 3 for your Agnimazud. Same thing with your Bixie. He's the Water of the Yang Zing. He's mandatory for your other True King. You just want to have as many targets as you possibly can. And on top of that, the Yang Zings will all give your Synchro monsters extra effects when you use them as Synchro material. Then for the rest of my Yang Zings, it's a bunch of 2-ofs and then 1 Lone Soldier. So we have 2 Beyond Earth of the Yang Zing, 2 Pulao, Wind of the Yang Zing, and 2 Chi-Wen as well. Chi-Wen, I go back and forth 2 and 3, 2 and 3 a lot. And in this build, to be honest, I'm missing him at 3 as well. 2 Zephyr Nui, Secret of the Yang Zing. I really haven't felt the room or need to run 3 of him and the level 3 anymore, especially since I'm no longer running Metal Foe version or anything like that. And then we just have the 1 Tauti as a last extra name, and sometimes he comes in handy for niche synchro plays when you need him to make certain levels when you've exhausted a lot of your other resources. So for the last of the monsters, I have 2 that you've probably seen in a lot of decks, which is Magma Dragon and Mermare. Mermare is really good right now with Yazi. If you pop Yazi and something else, you can summon Mermare from the deck and just get some tokens and do a little bit of extra syncering, or use some of those tokens with some of your Yang Zings for some links and stuff. But for now, it's just kind of working out as a late game thing, and very nichely it can be used first turn with Summon Sorceress, like if you can get certain things off. But Magma Dragon as well. The thing I'm liking about Magma Dragon is when you already have a board, he gets extra advantage and you can do some things with him, but he restricts you to worm type monsters for the entire turn, so it can't even be him afterwards. You can't go into anything else the turn you use his effect. And then the last monster I'm running is Ryu Okami. So this card is a spicy tech that I'm testing out right now. Summoning it is pretty easy with like the Water True King and some other ways too, like sometimes even with Saryuja if he's dead in your hand. But he has an effect where if your opponent special summons a monster, they have to send a card from their extra deck to the graveyard. But mainly, the main reason him being in here is he's level 8, and with Summon Sorceress, a lot of my big plays back in the day revolved around getting double Baxias, so I was able to go into a rank 8 and then clear some space on the board. But that's a lot harder to do now. So with Summon Sorceress, this allows me to have like one Baxia under her and just easily get out a Ryu Okami. And then that's a level 8 that I can just exceed with my Baxia. So he's still being tested very fond in this deck, but we'll see how he ends up working out. And then of course I'm just running 2 Ash. I'm going to probably try to make the room for 3 since this is a 50 card deck. I still haven't decided what I'm going to take out yet, but definitely going to try to bump her to 3 in this deck. Now, going on to the spells. So, for the spells, I have 2 Called by the Grave just because hand traps can really screw you in this deck. You won't really open it with it too much, but maining it, it's not really bad when you see it usually. Still might take it out for the side for more combo-centric cards, so that's an option for you too if you feel like this is more of a side card for you. Then, of course, what's most important is we have 2 Terraforming, a set rotation, your Oracle Zephyra, and your 3 Dragonic Diagrams. It does suck being a 50 card deck. You won't open this as often as you'd like, and it's definitely the best for your combos, but you can still get a lot of shenanigans done with just a bunch of monsters in your hand. But if you can open a bunch of monsters and diagram, you can do some pretty nice things. And then for some of one-ofs, we have Instant Fusion, we have Monster Reborn, and Dark Hole. I was running Raigeki for a while, but sometimes I would open with it and just some Yang Zings, but not a Jiaotu necessarily. And sometimes you have to, especially going second, you just can normal a Yang Zing, Dark Hole. If they have no response, then you just get a Jiaotu hat, and depending on what's in your hand, you can still go off. We'll kill that. And then for the last spells, we have 3 Yang Zing Path. Just like Chi-Wen, and it's funny that he's on the card, I play around with 3 and 2 with this card as well. Right now I'm liking it at 3 because just having more Yang Zing names in the deck, I guess, just in case you do open Jiaotu. But that is another card that might go down to 2 to make room for some more like easy link facilitating plays. And then lastly for the traps, I just have 1 Zephyr Divine Strike and 1 9 Pillars. Miss when I could run these cards at more, but Danglong is gone. This one is just because sometimes if you have to pop your level 6 when he's on the board, you gotta search something, and this is more easy because he's live, because he has no use other than that from the top of the extra deck. And then 9 Pillars is just nice because sometimes you just need to sit on it. And then the last 2 spells is Yang Zing Creation, which I also miss at running multiple copies, but I just haven't really found the need to. This will summon an extra Yang Zing when a Yang Zing is destroyed once per turn, and then the 1 True King's Return because it's limited to 1, and it's still a really good card. Alright, so the extra deck is still very experimental. I'm still tweaking around with the links in this deck. I want to make room for some more, but at the same time, you're still really dominant on the synchros you're making. So this is up for debate, and please be free to leave me some suggestions. But to start things off, I'm running 1 Link Karibo because you do have a couple of level 1s in the deck. You can get the tokens with Mare. And it's sometimes just necessary for like dead hands. I have 1 Land Fornicus because we still haven't got like a generic worm link yet besides that link 4 that kind of sucks, at least for worms. And then we have the Summon Sorceress and the Saryuja. Summon Sorceress is going to get most of your spicy plays off in this deck when you are going to link, and Saryuja can help you fix like dead hands if you can just get a bunch of Yang Zings and True Kings on the board, which is really easy to do, but what you do with them is what I'm struggling with in a turn right now. But so far I've been working out a lot more plays, but for now these are the only 4 links that I run. But I definitely feel like I could be making some more room for extra things. But for the synchros, it's pretty simple and plain. So we still have the 1 Yazi because he's just a really good card. He's going to get more Yang Zings out the deck. He can get your Mare. He's like probably one of your only real ways to special summon your Mare. And he's also just a really good card. The 1 Chao Feng, because believe it or not, you can still shut down a lot of decks depending on how many attributes you can actually use for his synchro. Plus being level 9, if you somehow get him out and you need to, you can use him to exceed for calamities with a True King. And then we still have 2 Baxia, because even though I can't really double Baxia as easy in 1 turn, he's just still a really good card that you want to get. Especially making him on your opponent's turn is pretty annoying. That's it for the Yang Zing synchros. For the generic / mostly negate and interrupting synchros, we got the Herald of the Arclight, who Mostly in this deck, what I do is I make a Savage Dragon in him. That's like one of the better plays that this deck can do. Then I still run a Black Rose Dragon because Black Rose blows up the board. Really easy to make in this deck. Borreload Savage Dragon, now that he's out. Sometimes a lot of my plays I'll end up with just a Saryuja to clear some, get rid of the Summon Sorceress, and she's just sitting in the grave, so you know you can make a level 8 Synchro extremely easy, and you can use some Yang Zings on him and make him a little bit extra annoying. Then I'm still running one Trishula because I just really love the card, and she's also a level 9, and on top of that, her effect is still really nice to get off. That's it for the Synchros. For the Exceeds, we have one Hope Harbinger still, and one True King of All Calamities. So I'm probably going to bump All Calamities up to 2 as well when I do figure out this extra deck finally. Because Hope Harbinger, as much as he is in this deck, if the Ryu Okami play doesn't end up working out, then that'll help clear 2 cards out of the deck. But so far it's been working pretty well. And a lot of the boards I can end up with is pretty much my choice of one of these 3 cards, usually with this guy. And all of those could be a pretty annoying thing to deal with, especially if, depending on how good your hand is or if you draw any extenders, you can also end up with just some extra like strong monster on board or one of your Yang Zing traps. And then the last extra deck monster is going to be your Mud Dragon of the Swamp, just for the instant fusion target. A lot of people were telling me to do this. I didn't even think of this, honestly, when this card came out. I was pretty like, wow, that's pretty funny how good it works, because pretty much he can become any attribute, so he just helps make any of your True Kings live. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for bearing with me with my in-work Yang Zing True Kings. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think would work better inside this deck, and any spicy Yang Zing combos you've come up with. Peace out.
Hey, you're doing great, kid. You're doing great. You're doing great.
Thank you.
I like the energy.
Thanks, Pa.